Thank you for joining me on this Monday afternoon for Stall Bar Training 101. Excited to get started here in just a moment. I'm going to give it a minute or two just to let some people jump on before I dive into what I have for you today. But this right here is a stall bar. Okay, so it's something that you can attach to your wall. It's a really useful tool, and we're going to talk all about it in just a moment. If you're joining me here today, say hi in the comments. Let me know either where you're joining from, or if you would like to share your name, you're welcome to share your name and say hi, or a nickname that you would prefer for me to call you. And if you have any questions during today's live, please know that you are always welcome to drop those questions in the chat, and I'll get to them as soon as possible. Hey, South to West, thanks for joining. Yep, you're going to learn all about this lovely tool here today. From what I've heard, some people who have seen this in my videos have been like, hey, those things used to be around in my in the gym at school when I was in middle school, but I had no idea what people were using them for. So today you're going to find out what you use these things for, because I think that some people may have seen these, like I said, in school growing up. You may have seen them in a gymnastics gym. You may have seen gymnasts training with them. You may have seen people training some extreme flexibility on them, but actually this is an awesome tool for a number of things, and we're going to talk about that for any level, not just for people who are advanced or are gymnasts. Yeah, thanks YouTube Punk. Just chopped my hair today, so excited about that, feeling a lot lighter. Good eye, good observation. Okay, so we're going to talk Stall Bar 101, Stall Bar Training 101. So for anybody who just joined, this is a stall bar. You bolt it to your wall, so you do need to have enough space. If you are quite a tall individual, it can be useful to actually elevate it up off the ground, which you can do, provided that works in the space that you're setting it up in. And there's also some different attachments you can add to the stall bar, but we're going to talk about that at the end. So first, I'm just going to show you what you can do with the stall bar itself. We're going to talk a little bit about what it's used for. So stall bars, also known as Swedish ladders, are an excellent tool for strength, mobility, flexibility, and for different hanging drills. Okay, so the beauty of the stall bar is that you can adjust the level of whatever you're doing just by moving your hands and feet up or down on the rungs. So it's a way that you can do certain hanging exercises with support if you're not up to a full hang yet. Yes, YouTube Punk, my favorite, easiest weight loss method, get a haircut. That's right. If you have long, thick hair, then it can definitely drop some weight off you. That's a good question. You just said stall bar looks tall, 9-10 feet. I'm going to look it up for you on the website. So I have a Beyond Balance stall bar. So they have a number of products, but they have like the stall bar, they have different add-ons, and they have parallel bars, little parallettes. Some of them those are over there. Let me check these dimensions for you. So it is 90 inches tall. The traditional design is 90 inches tall, 34 inches wide. So it tells you exactly how to mount it on the wall and everything as well. And I think it's rated for up to 350 pounds. So more details for that, I can drop the website into the comments if you want to take a look at the stall bar I have. I'll just do that now in case anybody's interested in that. There's the link to the exact stall bar that I have if you want to check out the dimensions. So stall bar training, great for strength, mobility, flexibility, hanging drills. Who are stall bars for? Because as I mentioned, many of you may have seen it in a gymnastics gym or people who are doing gymnastic strength training. Looks really advanced. You may have even seen some of my videos and thought, oh, some of those things I could not do. That's too advanced for me. Now, while advanced exercises are frequently shown, because a lot of the people who use stall bars are perhaps calisthenics athletes or people who do specific gymnastic strength training, gymnasts, a lot of what's shown is very advanced because that's like the flashy stuff that grabs attention, right? But they're actually very scalable for all levels. So it's for anybody who wants to build strength and mobility and have an awesome setup for training at home. I would say this stall bar has really elevated my at-home training because I can do a lot more now that I have this tool than when I didn't, especially because it also has a pull-up dip bar attachment, so it's a really cool tool. And for anybody who trains at home, who wants to train at home, this is an excellent addition because, as I mentioned, not just can you work on your strength, but it also helps you with mobility and flexibility. Hi, Rebecca, thanks for joining. Horizon, the best exercise for belly abs is to do 2 weeks of tracking your food and then making some observations, making some adjustments. So really belly fat is going to be from taking a look at your diet, and then of course you can do exercises for your core, but it's not necessarily going to make you have a flat tummy if that's what you're looking for. Hi, Chem or Sem, I'm sorry, I'm not sure how to say it. Okay, so let's go over the anatomy of a stall bar. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to talk about what we use a stall bar for, and I'm going to show you some examples of ways that beginners could use the stall bar and ways that more advanced people can use a stall bar, or something that you could think about working up to, like something to keep you, oh, that's something exciting that I could work on down the road. Of course, there are steps to getting there, steps and progressions to getting there. So first, we've got just the rungs on the stall bar. Okay, so these rungs are awesome because they help you scale and exercise. If you move your hands and feet up or down, it's going to change the level of the exercise, or it's going to challenge your flexibility more or less. Okay, then we have this offset rung at the top here. So this top rung is set away from the wall, and this is your rung that you can do different hanging exercises from. And then we've got the 2 uprights on the side, which you can also attach rubber band, like resistance bands to. You could do different exercises with that, maybe a cable. You could also attach those resistance bands to the rungs themselves. So there's a lot of different things that you can do with it. So that's just the basic anatomy. There's, you may be able to see it, but there's one like board up here and one piece down here which are bolted into the wall, and that's pretty much it. So it's not attached to the floor or anything. It's just a couple bolts there, couple bolts there, and it's really actually quite easy to assemble. It doesn't take as long as you might think. Hey Moses, thanks for joining. Okay. So thanks Nadim for joining. If you guys have questions on stall bars, let me know, drop it in the chat. Okay, so we're going to talk about some stall bar exercises for beginners, and I'm going to have to figure out how to move my camera angle around a little bit for some of these. You can say hi to Kitty up there. Okay, so some basic moves, and if you follow me on social media, you might have seen some of these, but these are some basic moves which I think are important to show because, again, it's accessible for all levels, and it's a tool that you can use for just your home training in general, to up-level your home training. I think something that people take for granted is, or something that people underestimate the value of having something stable to hold on to help you scale different exercises. So, for example, that might be just working on a squat. Okay, so having support from the stall bar on the squat. Now, if you already know how to do a squat without the stall bar, why would you ever do this exercise? Feel free to let me know if you have a guess in the comments. But here's my thought on that. First of all, if you are first learning how to do a squat, how to do the form correctly, holding on to something allows you to slow down the movement and focus on each area. It allows you to pay attention to what is your pelvis position doing as you lower down. It allows you to go really slow. It also allows you to avoid any areas of pain or discomfort. And again, moving slowly through an exercise has a lot of benefits in terms of building strength and establishing a solid foundation. Okay, and even if you are more advanced, doing an assisted squat may actually help you improve your mind-muscle connection for a squat exercise. Okay, so there's different assisted exercises you could do there, like a reverse lunge. That would be another basic one where you can use a little bit of assistance. What we're doing there is we're also taking the balance component out. And if you take the balance component out of an exercise, you actually can generate more strength. So you can focus more on the strength. Anytime there's instability, you're not going to be able to contract as hard. So that's both a beginner exercise, but also useful for anybody. And then if you wanted to, the other way that having something stable to support you is if you are transitioning to more advanced bodyweight exercises. For example, one exercise I really like to do on here is work on my single leg squat with a support, because I feel I'm better able to keep this exercise in my glutes and hamstrings using the support. As soon as I take that support away, again, there's a balance component here, okay, and there's less ability for me to just focus on the strength component. So we can help you build the strength to work towards having better strength and balance on those exercises. A few other beginner exercises you can do here for strength. For example, you can work on push-ups. So if your push-ups on the floor are not quite there yet, you can work partial range push-ups on the stall bar, and you can get closer to the ground to make it more difficult, or you go a little bit higher to make it a little bit less difficult, and to just change that angle and change how it's targeting the muscles. Okay, so our next exercise that can be really helpful for beginners are working on your hinge. So this, again, having an assisted hinge can be useful. You can also work on a single leg, again, taking the component of balance out of it so you can focus more on strength, and you can also work on one arm only to progress yourself towards working on that single leg hinge with no support at all. Obviously, some of these exercises are things you could do with something other than a stall bar, but I think the stall bar, again, really stable, okay, much more stable than a chair, and these things are going to help you progress to other more advanced exercises. This can also be really great to work towards being able to hang, okay, so with feet on the ground. If you're not ready for a full hang, you can go feet on the ground here, coming up onto the tiptoes, and this can help you work towards being able to hang, okay? You can also work towards hanging core exercises, okay, with single leg lifts. What else did I want to say about that? Yeah, essentially you can do a lot of different hanging exercises there, and you can work on flexibility with this as well, right? So one great way is you can work on stretching the hamstrings, starting low, okay, and then you want a bigger stretch, just move that foot up a rung. You want a bigger stretch, move that foot up a rung. So that can really be scaled to literally any level, including, you know, gymnasts and dancers. Similarly, you can work on shoulder flexibility. And again, the higher you go, the more challenging this is going to become. You can also work on back bending with the stall bar. Okay, so those are just a few demos of some beginner exercises you can do with a stall bar. Looks like I might need to take a look at the chat real quick. Let's see. Yes, assistant coach Kitty caught sleeping on the job. Yes, stall bar is a thing that I was working on. Wow, yeah, there's a lot of people that need to be blocked here. Okay. You would think that YouTube would send me people that are actually interested in fitness stuff. But anyway, okay, so those are some of the beginner exercises. of course, there's a lot more. It depends on like what specifically you want to work on. One that I really like as well, challenge to get the crossover. Nice stretch for the hips and the back. That's a great one there. Of course, a stall bar can help you work with your hanging strength, okay? So you can either work your hang this way or the other way. You can't really do pull-ups on just a stall bar because, as you can tell, there's not really enough space here. You'd kind of be dragging yourself along the rungs, so it's not really the best tool in and of itself to do pull-ups, but I'm going to show you an add-on that you could do that is going to help you with any kind of pull-up type exercises. And then I'll show you some of the advanced exercises, again, just to show you what you could work towards down the road. And if you have questions on specific things, you could train on here. Nice, Michael, you said you don't have room for stall bars in your basement gym. You use a Smith machine for similar moves. You just move the bar to wherever you need it. That works out well. Nice. Okay, so let's go over some of the advanced exercises. So one of the really cool things, the stall bar is really great at training your core strength, okay? So this is an awesome tool to work with hanging core exercises. So maybe that's starting from a single leg hang or single leg knee raise to just a knee raise to maybe a knee raise towards elbow tap, I guess. Okay, reaching up. And then hardest one would be toes to bar, so going all the way up to the top. And of course, there's a lot of other exercises that you could do, other straddle work that you could do, and that's going to translate to a lot of different gymnastic strength exercises. It's going to help with handstands, calisthenics, and also just building a strong core, building a strong arms. Building strong arms. Scott just asked, what do you recommend for the rotator cuff? For strengthening it, or if you have an injury? Thanks, Kayette. Some people just got to be blocked. Okay, so some other exercises. This is going to be a fun one to show because it looks very interesting and entertaining, okay? But this is the kind of stuff you can do on the stall bar, which is cool. So I'm like, this is going to be a butt shot for a minute, but okay. So working on straddle, flexibility, and core strength here. You could do the same thing with a pike, which I'll probably show from the side because it's going to be too much of a butt shot. Okay, so that's a good one, especially for handstand training. So what that could be really useful for somebody like me who trains handstands, if you have that strength, which it works your hip flexor and core strength, it helps you with like a press up for a handstand, same range of motion, and works the core and hip strength needed for that. Okay, so you can also do that in pike, which is even harder. Okay, and again, this is, like I was just saying, these are advanced moves that look flashy that I want to show you because they're cool things that you could work towards Not something I would recommend you doing right off the bat. Obviously, you want to have the mobility, the strength, and work up towards the proper progression of it. So you have to have the flexibility to get into this position and bring the legs up. Okay, and then from here, you're trying to keep your back on the bar as much as you can. Okay, so that's gonna, again, work your hip flexors, work your lower abdomen, work your arms, work your ability to get used to being upside down, because that is also something that's going to take a little bit of getting used to. So if you do want to work towards doing handstands or hand balancing, then that can be a good way to train yourself for that. Nope, I did not build this. I got it from a company called Beyond Balance, who makes these beautiful stall bars. What I love is that they don't use any chemicals on the actual wood. They just use like a mineral oil, which yeah, doesn't have any chemicals, so it's all natural stuff, which is awesome. Okay, so nope, I was not a gymnast. I just have trained on stall bars and trained handstands. So I believe that most people are capable of doing this stuff when they put the proper progression into it. Yeah, this one is, I think it's about 34 inches wide. A couple other ones, a couple of other type of exercises you could do with this. And again, they're kind of flashy. You can work towards a pike stretch. Okay, so again, the higher your arms are, it's going to be easier. You're not going to be able to go down as low. And then if you move your hands lower, you're going to be able to go further down. Again, not a complete beginner exercise. You want to have a base level of flexibility before you try an exercise like this, but it's a unique way that you can use the stall bar. The stall bar can also be used for beginner and advanced exercises on the floor, using the bars to push into. So one of my favorite ones is pushing into the bar, keeping the shoulder blades lifted, knees up, and doing a pelvic tilt where you're arching your back away from the floor and then lifting your booty off the floor. Okay, doesn't really look like much, but excellent core workout. Okay, you can also work towards doing like a dragon flag type exercise. I can't do a full dragon flag, but I think you get the idea. You can also use this for stretching your back, okay, or strengthening your back. Again, like I mentioned, the great part about these rungs is that you have these rungs to adjust the exercise for your range of motion or your strength level. Same with, you could work this way on your strength level, pushing into the bar or trying to lift off the bar. Okay, so ways to work on your flexibility and mobility there. Let me see if we got any questions here. Kayette asked if push-ups are part of my workout regimen. Absolutely. I love push-ups. I used to do them every day. I did a program where I did them every day for about 2 years. I don't do them all the time now. Now I'm working on my freestanding handstand push-ups, so I work that once a week, and then push-ups may show up in some of my other regular push-ups may show up in some of my other workouts. Push-ups are one of the best basic exercises to master before, if you're trying to improve your upper body strength. I would say do push-ups. Make sure you got nice push-ups. Thanks, Southwest. Hi, Sydney. Sydney asks, how do you build strength for push-ups? So what I would recommend, Sydney, if you're working towards push-ups, is starting from a push-up from your knees and working slow tempo. So I would start from the knees and work going like 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. If that's too difficult, you could go like 1, 2, 1, 2. But going a little bit slower is going to help you build strength. And then to work towards doing it on your feet, once you've gotten stronger from your knees, working on a slow negative from your feet. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then maybe you go to your knees, push back up, and from your feet. That's how I would recommend building towards doing a full push-up and building your strength there. Stephen, I think you're on your own there. I don't know what to tell you about that. Yeah, south to west, that's a great way to put it. The stall bar reminds you of prison workouts where they use a simple mechanism plus body weight to get big results. Absolutely. You're welcome, Sydney. Thanks, Kayette. Glad that's helpful for you. Okay, so I want to show you guys some of the attachments that I have for this stall bar. Shizuka Blues asked, what's your long-term goal? My long-term goal is to be fit and strong when I'm 90 years old. How about you? Okay, so for this stall bar, we have an attachment here where there's actually two things here. This is a pull-up dip bar. I'm going to show you how this works. Hook it on. Okay, so that is, that's the pull-up. That's the pull-up bar and the dip bar, but I'll show you how the dip bar works in a minute. I have to move it down for that. So this is a pull-up bar, and then we've added rings to it because then you can do all kinds of fun stuff with the rings, right? So you can train all kinds of ring stuff with this as well. Of course, you can't train everything because the rings aren't up super high, so it's not the best for like pull-ups and things like that. But you could train dips. You could train like pelicans, like that. I can't really show it. But yeah, we got our pull-up bar, so I can do my pull-ups. And that's really nice to have because, as I mentioned, the stall bar isn't the best tool by itself to do pull-ups. But with this pull-up dip add-on, makes it easy to be able to do a lot of other hanging exercises that might not be as easy to do with just the stall bar. So then I'll show you how you can use it as a dip bar. So we move it down, put it on, same way. And then we have another bar. So we got this little extra piece, which there's a little divot to put this into. So you have a few different choices of width on this dip bar, and I should show you this. So you have a few different choices of width there. Okay, you could go if you want it real narrow or wider, okay. I prefer it like a bit wider. Oops, there. So then you're all set up to do dips on it like this, which is awesome. Again, dips and pull-ups, as you mentioned, south to west, some of the best drills for getting in really good shape without a lot of equipment. You just need the bars to do it. Then, besides this bar, we also have a Pilates bar, which I gotta be honest with you guys, I'm no expert on Pilates. So, Matthew said you could buy a walker to do dips. That's a good point. That's awesome. Yeah, Kayette, it is very comprehensive for a simple piece of equipment. This has really up-leveled my home gym, and I love it. So, I'm no expert on Pilates, but this is a Pilates bar that comes with it. So you hook it on a similar way, and you can use this for different things. So for example, one thing you could use it for is kind of like a supported Jefferson curl, or maybe you keep it like in your hips and you work on stretching out the hamstrings. I haven't fully explored what to do with this bar, but one thing I do like doing with this bar is pistol squats. So because this bar moves, it's been helpful for me to work on strengthening my pistol squat, because my pistol squats are not super strong, but I can kind of pull onto this bar and it makes it a little bit easier and helps it again kind of focus in the right areas like the glutes. So that's the main thing I've used that for currently, but I'm sure there's other things that I'm going to discover about how to use that Pilates bar. So all of these attachments are ones that you can get from Beyond Balance. I'm going to drop the link again to the Beyond Balance stall bar that I have, and then if you look on their website, you can find the add-ons as well. Yes, they definitely give you a lot of additional things you can do with the add-ons. The main thing I would recommend is that pull-up dip bar. So I think he calls it like a workout station on the Beyond Balance website. So you get the stall bar plus the pull-up dip bar, and it really gives you so many options for things you can do. Like I said, you can attach rings to it, which is awesome, or TRX. Yeah, YouTube Punk, it's absolutely something a woodmaker could craft, which is exactly what the guy who creates these does, just on a larger scale. So it's of course something you can make yourself if that's something that you like doing. And if you don't want to do that, then there's some good ones out there. Matthew, yes, it is easy to install on the wall. Actually, it is pretty easy. So it comes all in pieces. I'm going to be doing a review, like a YouTube review video on this stall bar at some point, and show we filmed like the unboxing, and it comes all in different parts. So all the rungs, these uprights are not connected, like everything's in pieces, but it's pretty easy. You glue them, you screw the rungs into the uprights, and then you attach, the pieces that go into the wall to it, and then like screw those in, and then you screw it to the wall. So there's actually like 2 screws up there and 2 screws down there that you have to attach to your actual wall. Can you do a handstand with it? I mean, yeah, you could use it as your wall to handstand against. So you could absolutely, you could handstand and use it for a little bit of balance and support if you need that, or to put one foot on, one foot off, and kind of protect you if you're still practicing your balance on handstand. And I think it builds a lot of great strength that has good carryover to handstands if you're interested in learning how to handstand. Thanks, YouTube Punk. We put a lot of work into that Pro Kettlebell review, so I'm glad it was helpful. We got a Vulcan kettlebell review we're going to be releasing soon as well, but we're waiting for them to restock their kettlebells because they're out. Let's see. What else did I want to tell you guys? Oh, of course, you can add resistance bands to your stall bar. So you can loop them around either the uprights on the side or any of the rungs so that you can do different exercises there. If you wanted to do like rows with a resistance band, or you wanted to put the resistance band around your waist. That's actually, I want to show you. I'm going to grab my resistance band. So stay tuned here. Let me find the one that I want to use. Bit of a thicker one. So another beautiful thing about the stall bar is it's really useful if you're doing any rehabilitation from an injury, or you have some challenging areas that you're working around because you have some discomfort or pain. You can utilize it in many different ways. So one way is you can, for example, for a Cossack squat, this is a tricky exercise for a lot of people, so you can use this band to kind of deload. I'm gonna actually put it under my butt, it's gonna be a better way, to actually deload your Cossack squat and to go slower and to remove some of the body weight from this exercise. So if you have any challenges with your hips or your back in particular on that exercise, the resistance band is a way that you could take some of the body weight off, slow it down, avoid areas that are causing that pain or discomfort. So the stall bar is really a great rehabilitation tool. Physical therapists use it because there's a lot of ways, again, that you can scale it to make it more appropriate for the level that you're at. YouTube Punk, you said, are you ever afraid of breaking it? No. Like I said, it's rated for 350 pounds. It is very solidly bolted onto the wall, so I am not. It's very, very sturdy. Like the Swiss Army knife of workout equipment. Something like that. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that you can do with it. So I've been really enjoying the stall bar, and I think it's something that's, there's not a lot of information out there about stall bars and about how to use them. And most of my experience with the stall bar is using it for gymnastic strength training. So a lot of the exercises that I've done it are the more advanced exercises. So I'm excited to kind of work on some more in-between exercises and workouts that you can do with it for people who are beginner to intermediate. FMG, we're talking about stall bars and fitness. That's awesome, Matthew. I'm glad that you got to learn a little bit more about stall bars today. Do you guys have questions about stall bar training, about the stall bar itself? Let me know. Let me know if you got questions. I'm thinking about what else I can share with you guys about the stall bar. The other thing that you may know this type of tool for is like doing a flag. You know, when somebody's like hanging to the side, they're like sideways, right? And they're holding onto a rung in each hand. So that's an awesome exercise that you can work towards, which I can't do a full one, so I can't show you that exercise. But there's a lot of drills you can do to work towards being able to do it. Place Beyond the Pines, I don't necessarily use it daily, but most days I like hop on it and hang. I mean, it makes it really easy. If it's in your living room, you're gonna use it. You're gonna use it, you know, because you're gonna see it and then just jump on it and like do a rep or something. But I don't work out on it every day. No. Yeah. So for something like the human flag, you can start by just working on being able to support yourself here. This may look easy. It's actually pretty hard. Okay, so working from here to here. So it's like a very beginner and basic way that you can do it. You also could kick up, which I'm not going to do because I haven't done it in a long time. But you can kick up and slowly work eccentrics. There's a lot of different ways that you can start to prepare your body to do a flag, right? Like even working here and working some of the strength here. So a lot of levels, a lot of way to scale it. Yeah, YouTube Punk, you said you used a metal and iron. It's very sturdy. It is very sturdy and strong. There are also metal stall bars that have metal rungs, but I imagine they might be a little bit more slippery if you get sweaty. Matthew, I have two attachments. So I have the pull-up dip bar, and then I have the Pilates bar. The Pilates bar, I think if you're into Pilates, it's an awesome one. And it can be useful for some, like I showed, like a pistol squat to support yourself. And I think you could do some of that with just the stall bar. I would really highly recommend getting the pull-up dip bar because that really takes it to the next level with what you can do. And you can, like I said, add the rings or TRX as well. Thank you. You're only too old if you think you're too old. You can't really do muscle up. You can't do muscle ups on a stall bar. You might be able to do it on your pull-up bar if your ceiling is high enough. My ceiling's not high enough, but you could potentially do it. I'm not a full muscle up because you can't fully really hang on the rings, but you could potentially do a kind of a partial muscle up and work on your negatives, or like an L-sit muscle up on the rings if you attach them to that pull-up dip bar. So yeah, great way to train, a great tool to build up your strength for a lot of different body weight exercises. It will definitely strengthen your grip because just hanging on to the stall bar works your grip. It will also work your feet because putting your feet on the rungs can feel a little bit like work at first. One of the exercises I forgot to show you guys here, which is one of my favorite basic exercises. It's a mix of strength and flexibility. Again, the higher you put your feet on this, the bigger of a stretch you're gonna get. The lower you put your feet, it's gonna be easier, but I call it a pike pull. So you go from a pike, nice pike stretch, you're gonna kind of tuck your tail and pull yourself up. Okay, so a little bit of upper body strength as well. And great for lower body stretching. You could also do it in a straddle. So with your feet out to the edges, you can work your straddle stretch and pull. Again, if you want to make it harder on your flexibility, step up a little bit higher. And again, you can use a stall bar in many different ways to work on your flexibility as well. You know, you can go this way. A lot of different ways that you can use it. It's really only limited by your imagination. Yeah, absolutely. You could do decline push-ups with it if you wanted to put your feet on the rungs. I just actually haven't really tried doing like a hip bridge with feet on the rungs, but that's something that you could do as well. Or a single leg. Yeah, you could work towards working on like your handstand push-ups with the feet up high. So yeah, really just limited by your imagination. Lots and lots and lots of things you can do. And if you do decide that you want to get a stall bar, I do have a code with Beyond Balance. I am an affiliate, so if you use my code KB Fit Britt, you will get 10% off of your purchase. They also have these, plus they have those really small ones that are low to the ground. They're in the other room right now. But these are awesome for all kinds of push-ups, for L-sits. You know, you could even work your dips here. You could work your handstand on these. So lots of different exercises you could do with the parallettes as well. I did get a request for showing like a parallette workout and exercises you could do on parallettes. If you guys are interested in that, let me know. I'd be happy to do that as well. Yeah, if you use, it's in the description, but my coupon code for 10% off with Beyond Balance is KB Fit Britt. So if you want to check that out. Other questions on stall bars and stall bar training? I likely will be creating some classes and programs at some point for stall bar training. especially if people are interested in it, but most likely I'll create it no matter what. So stay tuned on that. I also, today, we are taking people who want to be on our Black Friday waitlist for Kettlebell Solo. So if you're interested in Kettlebell Solo programs and membership, we just opened up our waitlist for the best deal of the year coming at the end of the month for Black Friday. We are going to be launching the Black Friday deal on social media, but it won't be as good as the deal you'll get if you sign up for our waitlist. So if you're interested at all in kettlebell programs or membership that I've talked about on these lives before, be sure to sign up for our Black Friday waitlist, which I just dropped here. Any other questions on stall bar training or requests? And also on Wednesday at 9 a.m. Pacific time, I'm going to be talking about how to improve posture. This was a request last week or the week before. So we're going to be discussing that. I'm going to show you some exercises you can do. So if you're a desk worker, you definitely want to come in for that live on Wednesday or catch the replay. And Thursday, we're going to be doing a Grow Your Glutes workout. So be sure to join us. We had several requests for a booty-focused workout, so we're going to be doing that on Thursday. So be sure to join us. That's at 4:30 p.m. Pacific time. Ohio Dan, I'm not sure what you are saying there, so feel free to clarify or let me know if you have a question. Who's thinking about getting a stall bar now? Anyone? How to do shoulders with the stall bar? I mean, there's many ways to train your shoulders with the stall bar. Place Beyond the Pines, I'm sold. That's awesome. So pull-ups and dips are good for your shoulders. You could train I'm going to trip over things over here. You could train isometrics for your shoulder in different positions here with the stall bar. Okay, so you could work towards working on your internal rotation or your external rotation. You can work on your overhead mobility as well as isometrics here, pushing down or trying to lift up, or you could even push up into the bar. So there's a lot of different ways you could use the rung to strengthen up your shoulders and do different exercises in addition to the pull-ups, dips, hanging exercises that you can do with this stall bar. Sasha, you said you were thinking about getting 2 stall bars side by side so you can do middle split stuff. Well, you could do that. You could also work on one side at a time with this, with the stall bar, like one leg on the floor, one leg up on the stall bar. I'm definitely not on that level, so I don't know about that as far as middle splits goes. Other questions on stall bar training, calisthenics, rings? Thanks, Noah. Thanks for joining. I mean, Sasha, I think it'd be cool to have 2 stall bars, because if you have 2 stall bars, you can work with a partner. Maybe there's certain exercises where it works better to have like a wider thing. So definitely possible. I wouldn't mind having more than 1 stall bar. This stall bar is also tagged on this live, you guys. So under the video, there is a link for products, and you can click on that if you're interested in taking a look at the stall bar and the dimensions of it. There are a lot of different stall bars out there. I think Beyond Balance, like I mentioned, one of the things that I like about this brand in particular is that, number one, they don't use any harsh chemicals on the actual bar. They just use mineral oil. It's just wood with the mineral oil on it. It's a small business. I appreciate supporting small businesses. They also, for every purchase, they donate to, let's see, what's the, Oh yeah, they plant a tree. They do it like participate in some tree replanting program with the National Forest Foundation. So every purchase, a certain amount of it goes to like replanting a tree because they're using up wood. So I think that's cool as well that they want to take care of the environment. Place Beyond the Pines asks, what do you find yourself using it for mostly? I find myself using it mostly for definitely the pull-ups. I feel like I do pull-ups more than dips. So I'd say the pull-ups. We've been using the rings a lot lately, so I've been really enjoying using the rings on there. And then I really like it for hanging core exercises and for like stretching, having something to support and hold on. Like I showed at the beginning of the live, like I was holding onto the bars and practicing like a single leg squat. I've been finding it really useful for that as well. YouTube Punk, I don't know if anybody has released a DVD on it. I'm sure someone out there has. A more flexible dance bar, any disadvantages compared to a traditional dance bar? I'm thinking about what the difference would be compared to a traditional dance bar. I mean, I think the cool thing about a dance bar is you can kind of move it around, right? So the downside of this is that it's attached to the wall. If you want to be able to move your dance bar around, you can easily do that. A stall bar, of course, is locked in one place. But if that's not an issue and the place, you know, the spot works for whatever you want to do with that bar, there's a lot more that you can do with the stall bar versus just a dance bar, right? Because with a dance bar, I don't think it's as easy to like hang from and things like that. So there's a lot more opportunity in terms of hanging and using this as a stable support, which I mentioned is really useful for a lot of strength training exercises. Other questions on stall bar training or stall bars? Questions on posture for Wednesday? Is anybody struggling with their posture? Michael, that's actually a great idea there. He said a sit-up board you could adjust the angle on. That would be handy. I think that's coming down the pipeline actually, is something that you can hang from there that's like an angled, so you can do different things, kind of like an incline bench. That can absolutely take it up to the next level with what you could do with it, because I showed that you could do like dragon flag at the bottom, but it's more comfortable on an incline. Plus then you could use that like a slanted board for things like bent rows like you would on an incline bench, or you could use it for incline or decline strength training exercises as well. Posture is a huge issue. Any particular areas, south to west, that you struggle with posture? No, YouTube Punk, this is our living room / home gym. It's kind of a home gym, but kind of also a living room. Hey Gavin, thanks for joining. Scott, you said you have an elevated right hip. Got any tips? It's difficult for me to give specific tips for like a specific issue that you're having, because a tight or an elevated right hip could be due to a lot of different things. Tight muscles, damage. It could be just how your body is shaped. So it depends. I don't really have any tips just right off the bat. I don't really have enough info to give you a tip. I'm sorry. Southwest said, my desk job has me sitting all day and you slouch in a chair. Okay, yeah, I mean that's typical, right? The kind of typical like forward head posture, slouching. We'll talk about that on Wednesday. You're welcome, Gavin. How did it go? How did your cool downs go? And you guys stay tuned for my posts. I'm going to be posting a few more, a couple this week and another one next week, shorts here on YouTube. It'll be on Instagram also, but on more stall bar exercises, stall bar strength exercises for beginners. So that's coming down the pipeline. Then there'll be a little break because I'm going to be going on a trip. But next year I'm going to be posting a lot more content on stall bars, flexibility, mobility exercises you can do. So if you want more inspiration and ideas, stay tuned because those are coming in addition to, I'll be doing a full review on this stall bar. But I love this stall bar. I've used different ones. When I used to live in San Diego, I used some of the Suples stall bars. So those are the people that sell the Bulgarian bags. They also make stall bars. However, those stall bars they're kind of more like ladders. Their rungs aren't as close together. So they're not what I would recommend for the different strength training exercises, but there likely are some different brands as well that could work. But this is my preference right here. This is like the exact type of stall bar that I love to use and has the best spacing of the rungs and has those awesome add-ons that I showed you guys. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. Yeah, if you like this live and you want to see more of my lives, I go live 3 times a week, so be sure to subscribe so that those will pop up and you'll be notified when I go live. You can see the other 2 are up. You can hit like the button to be alerted for when they're starting up so that you don't miss any. Got about 5 minutes left. If you got any other questions on stall bar training, let me know. Or if you got suggestions for future live topics, happy to take those as well. Oh, Beyond Balance also has a freestanding stall bar. So if you don't have empty wall space, but you still really want a stall bar, they actually also have a freestanding version that you can check out on the website, so you don't actually need to attach it to your wall, but it does have some boards on the bottom, so you're gonna have to have a little bit more space on your floor for those guys, but it is an option if you don't have wall space available. Kayette, thanks for subscribing. I appreciate that. Fitness for injury prevention, that's a good suggestion. I will add that to the live suggestions. Is there a specific injury that you're dealing with, Kayette, or just in general? You're welcome, YouTube Punk. Thanks for joining. In general. Okay, good. Yeah, good option for renters. Well, if you are renting, you know, it's still possible to put this in because it's really not that, you know, like I said, there's 2 bolts up there and 2 bolts at the bottom, so pretty easy to cover up once you take it out again. Kaya, you work in a physically demanding industry, yeah, so then it's important to make sure that you do not get injured. Absolutely. Awesome. Well, thank you guys for joining me for Stall Bar Training 101 today. I really appreciate you being here, appreciate you subscribing. If you have any other questions, you can always drop them on the video on the replay of this live and I'll answer them as soon as possible. Hope to see you on Wednesday at 9 a.m. Pacific time, and be sure to join that Black Friday waitlist to get the best deal of the year on Kettlebell Solo programs and membership. So I just dropped the link there. Be sure to sign up. You'll also find the link to the stall bar in the description for this video, and have a wonderful rest of your Monday. Thanks, Place Beyond the Pines. Thanks for joining. See you guys next time. See you, YouTube Punk.